I mean, when I'm betting on real fights.
Real fights, yeah.
Not saying that they're not real fighters. They're novice. They're novice professional fighters.
Conor McGregor still called you a donkey. Do you have any feelings on that specifically?
I think Conor McGregor's funny as. But guess what, Conor? I'll beat the fucking out of you, and you can't box as good as me. And I'm gonna do to Nate what you couldn't, which is knock him the out. And you're gonna be sitting there with your new beer company that's failing.
Floyd Mayweather has reportedly shared his thoughts on the potential fight between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor. The idea of Jake Paul facing Conor McGregor has been floated around for years, fueled by their larger-than-life personalities and their success in the ring and octagon, respectively. Jake Paul has surprised skeptics with his dedication to boxing over the past few years. He has steadily improved, showcasing power and grit in his matches against former MMA champions like Tyrone Woodley and Anderson Silva. His size and strength would give him a distinct physical advantage over McGregor, as he stands taller and naturally fights at a heavier weight. Mayweather acknowledged Paul's commitment to the sport, recognizing his progress and mental toughness. However, he also pointed out that Paul's experience is still limited to opponents who, while skilled, are not elite-level boxers. Mayweather believes this gap in experience could prove crucial, as technique and strategy often outweigh sheer power in the ring.
But when I'm betting on fights, I'm betting on fights that's top flight. But that is a top flight novice. That's the best novice fight professional novice fight that's going on right now. So may the best man.
On the other hand, Conor McGregor's background as a striker makes him a formidable opponent, known for his precision, power, and ability to read his opponents. McGregor has proven his striking prowess in MMA, including against high-caliber competition. His left hand, often referred to as his most dangerous weapon, has ended fights in spectacular fashion. Mayweather, who defeated McGregor in their own boxing match in 2017, credited the Irishman with height, IQ, and the ability to adapt under pressure. However, he also raised concerns about McGregor's conditioning, noting that cardio has been a recurring issue for him in longer fights. In addition, McGregor would face a size disadvantage against Paul, which could make it challenging for him to control the tempo of the fight. Mayweather refrained from making a definitive prediction, but highlighted several factors that could shape the outcome. He emphasized that boxing is a sport where strategy and discipline often trump raw power. Jake Paul's ability to remain composed and stick to a game plan would be critical, while McGregor's experience in high-stakes bouts might give him the psychological edge. Conditioning, Mayweather noted, would also play a key role, as both fighters would need to sustain their energy over multiple rounds. Furthermore, the mental warfare between these two larger-than-life personalities would add another layer to the contest, with each attempting to unsettle the other before the first bell.
Jake Paul, I mean, as long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
He get tough by Canelo. He get demolished.
Beyond the technical breakdown, Mayweather acknowledged the basis the fight would undoubtedly be a pay-per-view blockbuster. Jake Paul's influence among younger audiences and McGregor's global star power would draw millions, making it a commercial spectacle as much as a sporting event. In Mayweather's view, Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor represents more than just a fight. It is a testament to the unpredictable nature of combat sports. Mayweather's analysis highlights the complexities of this potential clash, leaving fans to debate who would emerge victorious and what could be one of the most talked about events in fighting history. Meanwhile, Conor McGregor's interactions with Jake Paul have changed, suggesting that the two may actually be getting into a boxing match. Paul, often labeled a problem child, has never shied away from expressing his desire to face UFC star McGregor in the boxing ring. With an impressive 11-1 professional record, he has repeatedly challenged the notorious fighter, sweetening the proposition position with enticingly lucrative fight deals. Paul's most recent call out of the Irishman came in the wake of his unanimous decision victory over Mike Tyson in November, telling a post-fight press conference, and it's funny to say Conor McGregor is scared of Jake Paul and will never box him, But it's the truth, and look at him go toe-to-toe with Nate Diaz, who was easy work for me. It was like a Monday sparring session. To beat Nate Diaz, as he doesn't ever want to smoke with me, it will never happen in the early stages of his career. McGregor brushed off Paul's fight challenge, minimizing the impact the content creator had on the world of boxing. McGregor's stance began to evolve as Paul carved out his own reputation, defeating a roster of former UFC icons, including Ben Askren, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, Tyrone Woodley, and Mike Perry. Speaking to the media a few years back, McGregor explained, "I couldn't care about them two dingbats," taking aim at both Jake and his older brother Logan. When asked if he would ever see himself fighting either of them, McGregor added, "I don't see. So, but never say never if they're going to keep competing, and whatnot, who knows, but dingbats." Regarding his dislike of Paul, McGregor has also been extremely vehement on the internet, taking to X after the YouTuber's TKO went over Perry. In July, McGregor wrote, "Jake Paul is the biggest piss bag I have ever seen in my life. 40 pounds weight difference, juice out of his head, and still, __, himself and their Nick. He said you should take him to Vegas. Oh, that's right, you could never. The athletic commission testing real fighting, you could never." And then calling out 60-year-old Mike Tyson fresh off an in-flight medical emergency. I swear to God, McGregor recently revealed that he's in discussions for a fight with Logan, using X to shut down speculation about a potential matchup with UFC featherweight champion Ilia Topuria anytime soon. He explained the rumors of a bout with Tapia are false. "I am in preliminary agreements with the Amani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed I will then seek my return to the octagon." But according to recent reports, the Irishman may actually be considering a lucrative fight with Jake. Earlier in December, Jake wrote on X to clarify why he declined to negotiate with McGregor or his team without the UFC and Dana White's help. Now it all makes sense why Conor McGregor and his management team have been desperately trying to get MVP to negotiate for a fight between us, as we told them privately. And I'm now saying it publicly, the only way we're willing to explore me versus Conor in a pro boxing MMA fight is if Dana White UFC are at the table directly, or make it clear they are okay with discussions. Conor is washed, needs to post Logan by. However, he wants 2 days later. Jake wrote, "Big announcement in January." In response to that post, Conor McGregor, boasting a professional MMA record of 226, has been absent from competition since his July 2021 TKO loss to Dustin Poirier. About that ended with him suffering a fractured leg. The 36-year-old had been scheduled to make his long-awaited comeback in June against fierce rival Michael Chandler at UFC 303. However, a broken toe forced him to a draw just weeks before the fight. Renowned for his exceptional southpaw boxing skills, Conor McGregor has stepped into the squared circle just once as a professional. That singular appearance came in 2017 against Floyd Mayweather Jr., ending in a contentious TKO defeat in the 10th round. Could 2025 mark his return to the ring for a clash with either Jake or Logan Paul?
No, I fancy him for it, to be honest. I fancy a man's a bit windy. The other cat's a bit windy. Yeah. You know, so, but he's a donkey. The guy's a donkey, yeah, the other cat. Yeah. But a donkey has a kick as well. So you just got to be worried of that. So, but I just think, mate, fake weather and that'll come and they'll be careful and they'll be in his face. And I just think it's really neat, you know, really neat.
It's surprising to imagine McGregor deriving any satisfaction from someone else tangled in a messy lawsuit, especially given his own recent defeat in a civil case at the Dublin High Court. Perhaps that's why he decided to delete the tweet. Alternatively, he may be preparing for his upcoming fight with Logan Paul and doesn't want to mock his rival's misfortune, particularly when the two might soon be working together. Earlier this month, Conor McGregor sent shockwaves through the combat sports community by revealing he had secured a preliminary agreement to face Logan Paul, Jake Paul's older brother, in a boxing exhibition scheduled for next year in India. Mystic Mac, however, hasn't stepped into the ring since suffering a devastating tibia fracture 3 years ago. It looks like his UFC comeback will have to be postponed for the time being thanks to a rumored exhibition boxing match in India. His return to the UFC might not happen until at least the latter part of 2025. However, there's been a new development. Recent reports suggest that Jake rather than Logan could be McGregor's next opponent. This makes a lot of sense considering Jake just faced off against Mike Tyson and is likely to bring in more revenue from McGregor than a fight with Logan. Conversely, the UFC could block McGregor from facing Jake Paul, as Dana White has a strong personal dislike for him. Logan Paul, however, is contracted with WWE, which falls under the umbrella of TKO Holdings, the same parent company that owns the UFC. Moreover, Logan's beverage brand Prime is a sponsor of the UFC, and White shares a friendly rapport with him. While the situation remains fluid, one thing is clear: Conor McGregor is likely enjoying the prospect of Jake Paul facing significant legal challenges. Meanwhile, sports betting has now released odds for both the Conor versus Jake and Conor versus Logan matchups. One notable takeaway stands out from the betting lines for both scenarios in a possible showdown between Conor and Jake. The current betting odds place Jake at -300 and Conor at +240, making Conor a significant underdog in this matchup. When comparing these odds to a potential fight with Logan, Conor is listed at +110, while Logan stands at -140, while Conor remains the underdog in this bout. As well, the gap is noticeably narrower than in the proposed fight against Jake. The betting odds also suggest two additional matchups for Jake, with a balanced spread between the favorites if he faces Roy Jones Jr. Jake is favored at 400, while Jones Jr. stands at +300 in a potential bout with Canelo Alvarez. Jake is the clear underdog at +750, with Canelo dominating the odds 8-1500.
Conor McGregor can say what he wants, but he won't fight me either. So once I knock out Mike Perry, Conor McGregor, let's run it. But you won't do it because you know what's going to happen. You saw what I did to Nate Diaz, who you went toe-to-toe with. So Conor McGregor, lay off the cocaine, get in the gym, and start winning fights, and then maybe we could have a conversation.
With Conor McGregor versus Logan Paul potentially moving closer to becoming a reality, Shah Ali has claimed that the YouTuber would have a very good chance of upsetting the apple cart. The former UFC champion clarified why the WWE superstar shouldn't be written off as talks heat up between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul for a potential blockbuster boxing match. In India, the combat sports world is buzzing with speculation about who would come out on top in this highly anticipated showdown, having both face Floyd Mayweather. Shah Ali is leveraging their shared opponent Logan and Floyd pretty close. Logan is a big __. Floyd is the best boxer in the world, and it was somewhat close, and Floyd pieced up Conor a little bit. Tim Welch's co-host remarked that although many might see the content creator as the more imposing figure, the Notorious has noticeably bulked up since their last in Logan at Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. He said he weighed 190 pounds. He wasn't nearly as stacked as you're used to seeing him in the WWE. He is tall. I think that's a competitive fight. Ali agreed. I do too. I would love to see Conor come back and start someone in the UFC. If I could pick anything, I want Conor to come back. __. Walk out, hit someone with a left hand and then jump on the cage. Though the Maverick may be on the verge of an epic showdown with Ireland's finest mixed martial artist, Christmas Day saw him put aside thoughts of combat to savor precious moments with his family amid the holiday cheer. The social media sensation twirled through the evening with family and friends as the Christmas lights shimmered softly behind him. Additionally, he shared a photo of the gift that Jake Paul got him. Additionally, it appears to have cost the problem child a lot beyond his troubles outside the cage. 2024 has been another subdued year for the Notorious inside the octagon. At 36, Conor McGregor has yet to return to action after his crushing loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 264, and in 2021 hopes for his comeback earlier this year with a showdown against former lightweight title contender Michael Chandler were dashed when McGregor had to withdraw from their UFC 303 bout due to an injury just weeks before the fight was scheduled at 38. Chandler chose to step into the cage for a highly anticipated rematch against Charles Ola while he showcased moments of brilliance. It seems the Irishman is focused on a different challenger. McGregor is reportedly in talks to fight Logan Paul. Paul, widely recognized for his WWE career, is a newcomer in the boxing arena. Nonetheless, he has stepped into the ring with notable figures such as Floyd Mayweather and faced KSI on 2 occasions. His most recent bout took place last year against Dylan Dennis, a former MMA fighter, and Conor McGregor's teammate Paul emerged victorious after Dennis attempted a takedown, securing the win in the process. Although a showdown between McGregor and Paul seems highly improbable, let's entertain the possibility if the former UFC champion were to overpower the WWE star with a brutal knockout early next year. It almost
What I really want is Conor.
The
I'll put
ideal
the nail
order?
in his casket.
Ideally, if you could have it your way, is it Nate, Tommy, Conor? Is KSI anywhere in that equation
Well, if
anymore?
KSI fights Tommy, he's gonna get knocked out.
Yep.
I guess it's all kind of in the air. Time will tell.